Join us every Friday for encouragement, freedom, and biblical truth. Grab your coffee or grab your tea. It's going to be a good one. So hello, and good evening. I promise I did not swallow a weird bug. I have a bug, and it's called a cold. So I'm at the tail end of it, and my nose is completely sore. You know, going into 51, if I can be honest, has been the worst year ever. I am not kidding you. So I had knee issues. Those finally went away. My Achilles tendon. Then I got my teeth pulled. And then I don't even remember what happened after that. Then I got a cold. And it's just been one thing after another. And I blamed it on Sandra because she introduced me to this vitamin C crystal stuff. Not crystals like that, but this crystallized stuff. And I told her, I said, I've had more ailments since I've taken that. So she's like, well, just stop and see what happens. I'm like, I can't. It's part of my routine now. So, and she's like, maybe it's detoxing you. And I said, I don't know. I eat really clean. I mean, if my turnips and my beets haven't done it by now, I don't think vitamin C is going to do it. All right, so I would love to say hello to everyone. I cannot put everyone on the screen here tonight because we have Vin Dogg waiting in the green room, and that's about all the energy you guys are going to get from me tonight. You're lucky I even have somewhat of makeup on. I have some glitter, and that's about it. Mascara, a little foundation. This is me. Really, I was going to come on here El Naturel, but I didn't want to scare anyone, so I said I need to put something on my face. So anyway, I see so many people here, and that is the reason, don't do it yet, Sandra, but that's the reason that I'm introducing this week's mug is because I have really developed a bond with so many people here, and I know I say it every week and it never gets old. You guys mean the world to me, and a lot of people I don't even know physically. We might have spoken on the phone, shot a few texts back and forth. But you guys mean the world to me. Carly, we have become fast BFFs. I mean, it is that girl right there. She has my heart. Sandra, same thing, fast BFFs. I mean, God has just put these women around me. Sandra and I, we will not have girl time tonight. I'm going to be really depressed, but I need sleep anyway. So anyway, I'm thankful and grateful for male and female friends who God has brought into my life through this podcast. Hey, Timothy, I just happened to look up and I saw your name. Pookie, Barbara, Kristen, Miss Caroling. Hello, my sweet sister. Okie girl, thank you so much. I hope everything is doing better for you. I know you've been sick. Terry and Maria, Ren, hello. I also want to give a shout out though. I don't see him down there, so I guess we're good. I want to give a shout out to Jasmine. I do not know if she is in the chat tonight. But Jasmine, I want to say thank you so much for your gift. Everyone who knows me knows that I do not have a donate or anything on this. I always want the Holy Spirit to nudge someone, and somebody nudged, and God nudged, and they sent, and I always get uncomfortable accepting gifts. So thank you, Jasmine. And I know I said it in the email, but man, you're stunning. So thank you. With that being said, I have my throat lozenges. I've got my tea. If I happen to cough, VinnDogg will take over because I have to turn my mute on, and I promise you I'm not dying. And he'll have enough energy for all of us tonight. So anyway, I'm so excited about tonight's episode. It's going to be a good one. I really, really want you guys to get questions ready. Vin, give me a thumbs up, bro, if you're okay with questions at the end, because I think that would be really good if someone has questions about lyrics and stuff. But before I bring Vin on, we have grown to love him immensely. He is definitely a light in the darkened world that we live in today, and full of energy and joy of the Lord, and I love it. If you're not following him on Instagram, please go ahead and do that, and also here on YouTube. But before we bring him on, I would like to introduce this week's mug. So, as I said, this week's mug is for everybody. And I've used this before, um, but I'm going to use it again. And it says, side by side or miles apart, friends will always be connected by heart. And I absolutely love this mug. So, this is a dedication to all of you tonight. So before I bring Vin on, if our mods can get some love, as always, Sandra's behind the wall here with me. I've got Carly here tonight, and I think she's the only mod in the chat. If I've missed another mod, my apologies. Heather, I don't know if you're here. And again, no one knows what happened or is going on with Mr. Michael Baker. And I think that's it. So on that note, Sandra, you want to bring Vin in, and while I'm chit-chatting, we can say hello and do all that good stuff. Hey, what's up?
Hey,
How are you?
oh man, I am so excited to be back. Of course, the last time I was on a show, I was on hiatus, in the mountains somewhere.
You were holding your microphone.
Yeah, that was fun. But I'm good. And I'm
Good.
sad that you have a cold.
Yeah, I just, it's Sandra's fault. She gave me something new, and then she yelled at me because I didn't take it, and
Instead
then I
of
took
blaming
it,
it on
and
the
now I'm
rain,
sick.
instead of blaming it on the rain, it's blame it on Sandra. Oh no.
I love it. So I also have little voiceovers, so we can do here you go.
Thank you.
So, all right, Vin, listen, I don't know if everyone here knows who you are, but
I know a
why
couple
don't
people in
you
your
just
chat,
introduce
too.
yourself in case someone doesn't know who you are? Let them know who you are.
Yeah, but before I do that, how about if I give a shout out to a few people that I know in your chat, like Cousin
Absolutely.
Pookie and Carly, and there's probably a couple other people that I missed. And I'm wondering what happened to Michael Baker too. He just like disappeared.
He did. So I'm a little concerned. Someone said that he may be on vacation.
Yeah, everybody's going holiday mode.
Yeah, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's a European term, holiday mode. I used
like
to hear that when I worked for the devil, CNN, right?
Oh, you worked for a communist narrative network?
I did. So, working with international people, not my only world. I did other things, but so when you're working with the EMA is what they call them, right? The EMA folk, they would always say, or APAC, they would be like, "We're going on holiday." The first time I'm like, "Oh, what holiday is it?" They're like, "It's not a holiday." I'm like, "You just said you're going on a holiday."
Basically, yeah, right.
But it's not. Carly, Carly, let us know in the chat. Do you guys say that over there in your Kiwi land? Do you guys say holiday? And anyone else? I know that it is definitely a European term. I could be on a permanent holiday, Vin.
Oh man. That won't happen until after we're, snatched out of here. So.
Oh my gosh, it's gonna be an amazing holiday.
That's gonna be a party.
It is. And I get Jesus first. I already said that to everyone. So listen, okay, we're all just gonna have to wait. How do you think that has nothing to do with our topic tonight, but how the heck do you think that's gonna work? Like, how all of us gonna congregate around Jesus at one time? I don't understand.
He's working that out, so I don't know. He's already worked that out.
He's working it out. That is very true. All right, so anyway, introduce yourself to those who may not know you here in the chat. Who are you? Why are you even here, man?
Well, you know what? I'm here because I got invited on a Wing It in Prayer, and I don't know how I got invited. That's the crazy part. No, I'm just kidding.
No, someone randomly shot you an email.
Yeah, and then I was like, "Hey, that's cool. I got invited onto a show. I didn't think people would want to invite me on." They're like, "Man, that guy's too crazy to be on someone else's show." Well, a little bit about myself. I come from, the secular world of the Santanas radio industry. So we both kind of, know about, the broadcast industry and how it works on all ends. And I started getting interested in radio when I was about 14. So I was in 8th grade. Wow, crazy.
2 days ago?
Yeah, right. I wish.
Mhm.
I
Well,
really
you know
wish.
the saying, the black don't crack. So, I never guess anyone's age. Because I had I used to date, interracially. I have a lot of black friends, and I remember one time I was like, "What?" And they're like, "Girl, black don't crack." I'm like, "What?" I'm like, "Can I use that?" They're like, "You're free to use that term." I'm like, "All right."
That's funny.
Yeah.
Uh, so yeah, so going along with all of this, um, I had some cool mentors like Legendary Radio. As a matter of fact, he's still on now. They're both still on. Hollywood Hamilton, he's on the East Coast right now.
Mm-hmm.
He's out of KTU in New Jersey. Rick Dees. Oh man, that guy
Oh,
is
heck no. Really?
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I know I had some heavy hitters in my life. That's crazy, right? And they're
That's a good
both
one.
really firm on standing your ground. And so I kind of learned that from them. They always told me to never, compromise.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
all right, this compromise thing, I'm trying to figure this out. And, I'm only a teenager when they're telling me all this stuff.
Yeah.
And uh, you know, God just led me to be in the radio for a while. And I remember
Mm.
when I got my first radio gig in 2000, that was
Mm-hmm.
fun.
Mm.
And so I kind of fell off the wagon, as far as following the Lord, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Mm-hmm.
once the Lord got me into it, I said, "Oh
Yeah.
man, God, thanks. I got it from here." You're right.
Right.
So he's
Yeah.
like, "Okay, boy, I'm gonna let you see how much you've gotten it from here." And so,
Mm.
he let me hit a couple walls, and
Mm-hmm.
he had a plan, and the plan I did not see until 2015.
Mm.
And he was like, "I want you to do something else with your voice.
Mm.
I want you to kind of like get ready to move away from the business and start working for me full time."
Mm.
You know, getting political too. I was like, "Oh boy, I don't know if I want to do that."
Right.
So, I just kept putting it off. I kept putting it off like Jonah when he didn't want to go to Nineveh
Mm.
because he was, upset with the people of Nineveh, how they treated Israel, remember?
Mm-hmm.
And so it all hit a table, excuse me, in 2020. And yeah, you know what happened then.
Mm.
So
Yeah.
around
No, what
April,
happened in 2020?
well, that big thing that
I
happened,
have no idea. I don't
the
I don't
two
recall
the
that
two
year.
weeks.
That the
Yeah.
year that went on for like 900 years?
Yeah, we're still in 947 years of it going. And so
The new
uh
normal.
yeah, and so I started a podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, one of my good friends, he invested into it. He goes, "Hey man, I know the perfect guy that'll host a podcast." I said, "Oh,
Mm.
cool. Let me know who that guy is, and I'll see if he's worth the shot."
Yeah.
And so he comes at me 2 weeks later. He goes, "Well, that guy is you." I'm like, "What?" So I, took the initiative to say, "You know what? Let's do it." So I did a first episode. It was a short one, and it was called the Missile Launch.
Mm.
Yeah, it's actually the Kindle podcast, what we call it.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, "Man, that was terrific." And I'm like, "I don't know if I want to do this, any longer." But I was still doing radio up until
Yeah.
July of 2020. And I walked away from it. And I got to tell you, it is hard to walk away from a business like that,
I'm sure.
especially when the devil is throwing everything at you but the kitchen sink.
Mm.
My friends and family members still are upset that I walked away from it because they said, "Bro, do you realize how much capital you could have been making and with all of that, man? You're on 3 radio stations at the same time every week
Mm.
and
Mm-hmm.
blah, blah, blah." I said, "Man, you guys don't even know the half of it. There are
Mm.
so many dark things that you experience in the secular broadcast world that it would make you sick to your stomach if you're the average person, put it that way."
Yeah,
You
absolutely.
know, and I believe that God did that. I mean, I'm pretty sure he did that for you too. He let you experience the secular side of things so that he can build you up. And I think
Mm,
that's what it really boils down to at the end of the day.
mm,
We have to be strong in the Lord. And so I think that's why he gave us our journeys, Kim. And I think he gives everyone their own personal journey to where he desires us to be. And so we have to really pay attention and listen to him when he sends the Holy Spirit as our advocate to tell us, hey, you know what? Don't ignore me. Do as
yeah,
I say, you know?
absolutely.
Yeah. So it's a crazy
Yeah,
roller coaster ride. I
yeah.
experienced, meeting people in the industry and learning things that I didn't want to learn about
Mm-hmm.
them.
Yeah.
And it is just insane the things that are happening. And what's crazy is that everything maneuvered into the CCM movement, in
Yeah.
the NAR movement. It's amazing because the major record labels say, well, we're the Christian side of Capitol. We're the Christian side of this label. I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, okay, you know what this is going to happen? You know what's going to happen here?
Mm,
It's going to be
yeah.
all corruption at the front door.
Yeah, absolutely. So that was a great segue, as a matter of fact. Did you plan it like that?
I
No?
never
Well, that was
plan.
a,
I'm like Rush Limbaugh. I just, go right off the top of the head.
you just do. So Sandra, did you happen to do John 4 on a banner? So what we're going to jump in tonight, we're going to jump into lyrics of our Christian contemporary music, CCM.
Corporate.
And the reason I want to do this tonight, and I wanted Vin to be a participant, first of all, he'll bring comedy to it. And as you know, that he always likes his buzz terms. So he will definitely help us there because I am not a comedic person tonight at all. And I want to say thank you to everyone. I know I said it one time, but thank you. Yes, I hope I feel better. And I'm looking at your comments. I just wish I can comment, but I'm not solo. So thank you. I see everything. I love you. Kisses all around. Okay, except for the dudes, because that would just be really weird. So, you'd be like, excuse me, I'm married. I'm like, I didn't know, my bad. So, the one things I want, the one thing that I want, that, what the heck was I even saying? I don't know. That's how I've been all day at work
Oh,
today.
man.
Like, I'm trying to get my brain, like, here, and I'm like, I think I'm here. Um, the one thing I want us to take away, if we don't listen to anything else that we say tonight, is the focus on worship music, Christian contemporary music. It needs to be on God and God alone. Every time we hear songs today, we are reading, especially today, how does God make us feel? We are this. You are powerful. Not saying God is. I'm just saying you. It's the me centered, right, Vin? I'm sure you hear that in these lyrics,
Oh, yeah, big time. And we know
right?
who these people are.
Absolutely. So what I want to do is I want to read real quick. I'm sure you don't mind no Bible being read. So we're going to
Let's
read
do
from
it.
John. Yeah, no, okay. Forget the Bible, Sandra. We're not doing the Bible. John chapter 4. She's going to put it on the screen. And it says, John chapter 4, verses 23 through 24. But an hour is coming, and now is, when the true worshipers will worship the Father in spirit and in truth. For such people, the Father seeks to be his worshipers. Who are the worshipers, right? Oh, go back to that real quick, Sandra. Sorry, hon. The worshipers are those who worship Father in spirit and in truth. These lyrics today, and there's a bunch of them, we're going to put them on the screen so you guys can read along. This is not spirit and truth, guys. Okay, next. Sorry. Thanks, Sandra. My bad. God is spirit, and those who worship him must worship him in spirit and in truth. So thank you. You caught me. I didn't give you the first John, but thanks for being there for me, girl. Because John 4, I don't know what that passage says, but
Oh, man.
anyway. So in spirit and in truth, focus on God. God, even when we get to heaven, Vin, correct me if I'm wrong, but who is the focal point? It's still not about us.
No, it's the Lord our God.
Absolutely. So we have to remember in spirit and in truth. Are you ready to dive in?
You know what? Let me adjust this camera. Sorry.
Oh, no worries. And if I could just get some thumbs up on my sound, I don't have it set like I normally do. I feel like it sounds good in my ears. Sandra, thumbs up, yeah.
How's my
Vin, I
sound?
know you sound great. But my brain is so blah, 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 right now. I don't know. I guess everyone, you know what it sounds like?
What?
That's literally what I hear in my head.
Oh man, that's hilarious.
That's it. You know, it's like I'm
Charlie Brown
speaking in
episode.
tongues, but legit.
That's like a Charlie Brown episode.
Oh my gosh, it is. Today at work, we've been super busy. And anyway, so I work in public finance. I'm a legal assistant, paralegal. I just call it a legal assistant. But anyway, so the attorney's talking to me, and I could see his mouth moving, but it just wasn't really registering. And I'm just like, and I know dead air. I get that. I had really no idea. I felt like I understood the conversation. I'm glad everything ended fairly well today, but. And I didn't get yelled at, so that's good. Anyway, it is a great firm. I wish I can tell everyone the name, but I can't. All right, so what we're going to do, Vin, is I'm going to pull up my little PowerPoint. I'm going to remove us real quick. Are you okay? Or do you want to keep us? What do you want?
No. I want you to put that up on the big screen for them to see.
Yeah, okay, so we don't need us, right? We say goodbyes. Booyah. Okay, so what I want to do really quick is, by the way, the first time I wanted to do this is this song Rescue. I was at my niece's, let me go to us real quick. I was at my niece's dance competition, I don't know, a couple of weeks ago. And I'm listening and I'm like, is that Lauren Daigle? So anyway, they were performing a song that we're going to read on the screen, Rescue. And they had it as a, sex trafficking thing. So that proved my point 100%. My sister's like, ooh, who was that? And I'm like, Lauren Daigle, who was that? I'm like, oh, she's a supposed Christian artist. And my sister kind of looked at me. I'm like, yeah, at a secular thing here, they're playing a Christian song that had no Christian meaning at all. That's a great point because that's what happens. Okay, I'm done babbling. Okay. So I'm going to read these, and by audience participation tonight, let me know, right? So Rescue. Again, is it about us? Is the focus on God, or is the focus on us? You are not hidden. There's never, now, that's not talking about God. There's never been a moment. You were not forgotten. You are not hopeless.
You.
Though you have been broken, you got the next one, your innocence stolen.
Your.
There we go. I hear you whisper underneath your breath. I hear your SOS, your SOS. And then, next one is, I will send out an army. Oh my gosh, God's going to send out an army for us. I didn't know if you were aware of that, Ben, but here we go. To find you in the middle of darkness, night. It's true.
Darkness.
It's got to be true. Lauren's telling us it's true. I will rescue you. Okay, that's the only time. So far, we've only had I
and
3
you
times, right?
And you about 20 times.
Correct. So there is no distance that cannot be covered over and over. You're not defenseless. I'll be your shelter. I'll be your armor. And then I don't know if I put it on the next slide. I did. No, I did not. That's the next song. Okay. So what are you feeling about that song? That whole Lauren Daigle. You're not hidden.
Oh man, Lauren Schmagel.
Yeah? I mean, come on. Aren't we supposed to be rescued like that?
You know what it is? To me, Lauren Daigle is kind of like an Adele clone, but a corporate Christian version.
A new age corporate Christian version.
If you listen to the way that both of those ladies sound, you would say, wait a minute, who's really singing here? No, I'm kidding. But no, seriously, that is a self-loathing type message. That is nothing to do with the word of God. There's nothing about Christ in those lyrics. Nothing.
Absolutely not.
Nothing that edifies Jesus from the beginning to the end of that song. It's all about you. I will rescue you. What?
Well, what about this one then? Because this one, I don't know. Maybe, okay, all right. Then let's give her the benefit of the doubt. Maybe we'll find one song here. Maybe this one does. Let's look at this one. She needs to be rescued. How about Look Up Child? Where are you now when the darkness seems to win? Where are you now when the world is crumbling? I guess she wanted to rhyme that with win.
The world is crumbling.
She might want to try a little better on that one.
Hmm.
Oh, I hear you say. I hear you say, look up, child. Look up, child. Where are you now? Where are you now? Oh, I'm sorry. Where are you? Not now, because I guess we already know where you were. When all I feel is doubt, where are you now when I can't figure it out? And then I copied the bridge over. And I don't understand. You're not threatened by war. Well, I don't know what that means. I don't know what she means by that. So apparently, okay, great. Try telling that with Russia and Ukraine and all the other places. But okay.
Yeah.
We're not shaken by the storm. I know you're in control.
Whoa.
She's talking about God there.
Oh, okay. Okay, hopefully.
Yeah, so that's what I was confused about, the you're not threatened by war lyric, because I don't see anything with a battle. Is that what she's referring to? I don't know. Again, please comment in the chat, because the last one I saw, yes, there were people saying, where's Jesus in the song? I know you're in control, even in our suffering. Even when it can't be seen, I know you're in control.
How come she can't say, Jesus, I know you're in control?
I know, right?
Come on, Lauren.
I know. I got you back on the screen. I know. That's the key. Like, where is the word Jesus? So what I want to do, and I think we're going to sum that up with her really quick. So what I want to do here, Vin, I don't know if you're aware of this, but that quote, I want to quote something from her. And you'll see it there where it says, quote, this is from what she said. What's going on in our world? How can it be? It was the first time we had written since How Can It Be? I was feeling overwhelmed that much had happened the night before. How do I come back down to normal? So she's talking about being on the stage. How do I come back down to reality? Again, I'm not hearing any Christian undertones in here.
No, not at all.
This brought up the issue of identity and trying to figure out how to exist.
Wait. The issue of identity? Really?
Uh-huh.
Oh, my goodness. Keep going.
Oh, it gets better. And trying to figure out how to exist.
What?
When I feel like so many things were pulling me in so many different directions. Right, we can sit on there for a bit and talk about that.
What?
Correct. Because in a born-again's mind, we should already know our identity, and I'm not trying to figure out anything on why I exist. Maybe she's trying to find that verse along with the homosexual verse. Maybe she's confused.
Yeah, she is trying to find that verse in Romans still, because she says, well, I don't know anything about that. And when you read the Bible and find out about it, you let me know. So basically, Lauren Daigle is not edifying the word of God because she's not reading the word of God. Absolutely. Let's just be honest.
And that's probably why she can't lyrically write about Christ, because she doesn't know who he is.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I say.
Well, I knew that Lauren Daigle was kind of a flaky wakey when she went on to the Ellen DeGeneres show. And anybody that's associated with American Idol, and I can say this because I dealt with all this, nonsense in secular radio. Mm-hmm. You're not truly going to follow Jesus, because once you get the fame, it's like, oh, bye-bye, Jesus. And we know certain people like that. Like, let's see, the lady that likes to marry two women. Oh, Amy Grant. That's her. Yeah. That left her first husband for Vince Gill. Yeah, let's talk about that too. Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh, oh man. I think Zach might text me and say, man, you're coming out swinging again.
Is Brother Zach here tonight?
I don't know. Let's see.
I don't know if he is.
Yeah.
Okay, so then she said, we pretty quickly finished the writing and the demo recording that day. Of course, over the course of 2 years of touring, I would sing You Say, because this is what she's referring to, this song. You Say every night. Excuse me. I remember starting to hear fans sing along to a song that had never been heard before. When it came time to make the record, it was a really fun process to have the challenge presented with something that I felt like I had been living with. I felt like I got to a place of expressing the song exactly how I wanted to sing it. Again, there's absolutely
There's that magic word.
no Jesus. And you can hear her testimony. She doesn't even talk about Jesus. Okay, so how can it be? That's on the same screen. Now, I remember when she first came out, I loved this song. And because it does sound pretty good, right? So I wanted to give her at least one song that maybe we can glean from. And let's see. I Am Guilty. Okay, I'll give her that. I think we're all guilty.
Guilty.
Ashamed of what I've done. Okay. And
That's
what I've
all of us.
become.
That's
Yep.
all of us.
These hands are dirty.
Yep.
Yep. I dare not lift them up to the Holy One. Okay.
All right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Now the
Which
chorus.
holy one is she referring to?
Her Holy One, but it should be a lowercase h.
Yeah.
No. I'm probably going to lose some subscribers tonight. I'm already prepared mentally.
Truth hurts.
You plead my cause. You right my wrongs. You break my chains. You overcome. You gave your life to give me mine. That's where I lose it. You say that I'm free. How can it be? How can it be? Again, I know this is a song. We don't have time to theologically unpack that. I get that. But to me, that's a very watered down version of salvation. What are your thoughts on that?
I don't think she has salvation. Because she's saying,
Yeah.
how can it be that I'm free? If you don't know that you have freedom in Christ, then you're not free.
Correct.
You are not free.
Right.
Especially if you're second guessing it in lyrics.
Mm-hmm.
Come on.
Yeah. And
Who's
I
you
know probably what
fooling,
she's
Lauren?
trying to do is pull at the heartstrings of somebody like, oh, how can it be? And I know Jesus died for us. I get that, right? Like, how can, like, I say that sometimes too, right, Vin? Like, oh my gosh, Lord, I don't understand why you died for a wretch like me. That's exactly what I tell the Lord. Like, I didn't deserve anything.
Yeah. Even when I pray, I said, man, you did something that I'm not even worthy of.
Mm.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
But we know that he did that for us, and we're so thankful and grateful that I have a saying like on my show that now that I'm not in radio, I don't have to worry about how many times I say Jesus in one show. I can say it 22 times in 1 hour.
Mm-hmm.
So I just don't, well, I do get it. And, you know, one of our good friends said that, you know, a lot of these CCMs are, you know, practicing all kinds of weird stuff too. So, you know, it's all like the paradigm is going to a one world religion with all of this. And they're trying to remove God, and they're using the terminology Christian to swindle people into saying, well, they say that they're Christian, so they must be good, and they must be edifying the Lord. So we're going to get a little bit of something out of that song or the lyrics. You're getting nothing. There's no substance whatsoever. That's just like playing another top 40 record.
Yeah.
Basically, those lyrics is just like playing another record.
Absolutely. Yeah. And then, I mean, she goes on with that one, but basically, I mean, I don't know. Oh, so I forgot to read that part. So it was with that quote, she said it was the day after my very first award show. And I remember being completely overwhelmed. And that's when she talked about, well, if it's for Christ, why are you overwhelmed? Right? Okay, enough with Lauren. And I know Lauren, for some reason, is, and I don't find that coincidental, but when you talk about Lauren Daigle on the Christian community, people just lose their poop. And if you haven't already, go to Spencer Smith's channel. He dissects Lauren Daigle, and I 100% agree. She's got the feminine demonic spirit around her.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm telling you right now, I will go on record saying that if Lauren Daigle, if she claims to be and she doesn't claim to be a born again believer, first of all, she's never said that. But Lauren Daigle has never once, ever once given anyone the true gospel or the way to salvation.
Nope.
If anyone can prove that to me, I want you to send me an email. And I don't mean to be that person tonight, Vin, but I'm telling you, these people are real touchy when it comes to Lauren Daigle, and that is the divine feminine spirit. And I'm going to amen myself on that one.
I even have loved ones that are getting touchy when I mention about certain artists that they shouldn't listen to and all that stuff. So I know exactly where you're coming from.
Yeah.
So it's all right. You know, if people want to live in that world of fakeness, that's exactly what they're going to get at the end of their lives.
Absolutely.
You know, because you gotta be careful what you listen to and who you're listening to.
Absolutely.
Careful who you're watching also.
Oh, for sure. And I think a lot of it, and we're going to start seeing it in these lyrics, not so much with Lauren Daigle, but now the worship we're going to get into. Because I could have sat there for a long time.
You're going to get into the Bruno Mars of Christian music.
I think I might have hit a little Bruno Mars of Christian music.
You know who I'm talking about, right?
I can't think of the kid's name.
He's in valleys.
Yeah, he's
Torn Wells.
Yes, that's it. I knew it was something. I was gonna say something with a J, but I knew his last name Wells.
I call him Torrance Wells.
I posted one time a little clip of him on one of my RLEs. He gyrates a little bit too much for a Christian singer.
Yeah,
he don't need to be moving like that as a supposed Christian.
Yeah.
Not at all. But hey,
don't worry, we're gonna get into a little bit of that on my show next week too.
Oh, I know. I can't wait.
Man,
I'm going to be on Vin's show next Tuesday, guys.
Yeah.
So can't wait for that. Should be.
And I'm praying for you to get over your cold by then too.
I think I should be all right.
Good.
I don't know. I'm going to keep taking vitamin C. That Sandra instructed me, so I'm hoping it works out.
It does work. Sandra's right.
Oh, I hope. We'll find out. We'll see. All right, so listen, next is elevation. Are you ready for some elevation?
Hold on, let me get my elevator shoes on. Let me pump my chest like Stephen Furtick.
All right, so let me give some people, in case you don't know why elevation, kind of like Bethel, why I highly recommend that you don't listen. Elevation is Stephen Furtick's church in North Carolina, and he's a modalist like T.D. Jakes. So he believes in the wrong Jesus. If you don't believe in the triune God, well, then you're not with Jesus, is it? And so Stephen Furtick also writes some of these songs, in case no one is aware of that. So anyway, this one here is called Running. I feel like I want to run away from this. I have tasted, I have seen the realness of your love for me. It is written on your hands and feet. It's all the evidence I'll ever need. Your love is better than life. I can't even wrap my mind around it. One day here in your house, better than 1,000 elsewhere. At least I got one scripture verse right. Your love, keep on running, running, keep on running after me. Keep on running, running, keep on running after me. Okay, great.
And like Chris Brown.
Yes, absolutely. There's no one that can take your place. There's nothing that can separate. Oh, how high, how wide, how deep, the greatest love the world has ever seen. So now from here on out, and that's why I have it all in red. So basically, you're just repeating the same stuff over and over and over again. And as you can see, your love is better than life. I can't even wrap my mind around it. One day here in your house, better than 1,000. The keep on running after me repeats 20 times. That is a mantra. And I know Zach has covered this before with music, but that is when you're just repeating something over and over. That is such a new age way of grabbing someone in to meditate, and it is so demonic. Then the bridge, surely your goodness and mercy will follow me every time I turn around. Now that, like there, I'm not kidding you guys. Let me just show this. I am not lying when I say that entire bridge. Oh, right there's my camera. Here you go. That entire bridge is nothing but that they're repeating it the entire time. And then it goes into the chorus again. Keep on running, keep on running, keep on run, 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 run. There you go. See? So you don't think I'm making this junk up. I mean, what? I got dizzy literally just printing that out.
Yeah, because that's a lot of running on paper.
They're gonna be doing a lot of running on Judgment Day too.
Oh man.
Sorry, I don't want to upset anyone else. I'm not judging anyone's heart. That was a joke.
Yeah.
I gotta blow my nose. So what say you, Vin, as I blow my nose?
Well, Stephen Furtick, for one, is Mr. I Am, and he has like the little God syndrome with a G, the little G's. So I'm not surprised at these lyrics, because if you have ever watched a piece of his so-called sermons, and I strongly call them so-called sermons, this guy is telling people that basically I am. That's basically what he's saying. He's saying that they're little gods. So he's not even like edifying Christ at all in any of his records.
Absolutely not. So your cousin Pookie just asked a question, and it's just not Calvary Chapels. So many churches play this music. My good friend Matthew, he knows that I've asked him before, and I'll never deny that. I don't think any church should play music from Elevation or Bethel. 100% should never play. First of all, never Bethel. I don't care how good the lyric is. It's bred in a demonic room. Literally. Like, I am not lying when I say that.
Bethel is a part of the devil's playground.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Yeah.
And so, Kathy, I know this is on a delay, but I've seen your comment. We are going to get to the Reckless Love. We're going to get to that.
Oh, man, let's do oh my goodness.
Right?
That is a horrible song.
It is. Oh, I don't want to lose that page. Okay, let's move on to the next song by Elevation. And this one is Water is Wild. There is I'm sorry, I know that's really annoying. I'm sucking on my
No, it's fine.
Throat, my drop. But right, what a crazy lyric right off the bat.
Water is wild.
So this right off the bat will tell me, kind of like with Carrie Underwood, with that whole Jesus water thing. That to me shows that someone has religion when they think water baptism saves. If there's something, what is that song by Carrie Underwood? There's something in the water. I don't know. I don't like her. So something with the water.
I can't remember, but I did do 7 years of country radio, but I just forgot about her after that.
There's something in the water, I think is the name of that.
Yeah. Probably her.
All right. So this right here is Chris Brown, not the Chris Brown who likes to beat up women. So on now these lyrics are terrible. Oh, this is the day of salvation. What a time to be alive. Stop looking for the evidence and start living in the promises. What?
That's like some Kingdom Now stuff.
Absolutely. So I'll give him that. Today's the day of salvation. I agree with the first 3 sentences only. Lines.
Yeah.
But I'm not living in any promises right now. Right? And I think we hold too much attention to God's promises, but we don't hold enough to his, hey, you need to do A, B, C, and D before you get to the promises. And this is the year of his favor. This is a song, guys.
Wow.
This is the rain that we prayed for.
What?
If I could play these, I would. But half of these people don't like me anyway. I already have enough copyrights on my channel right now. I need a break. I need a moment of nothing. Start living in the promises like you know who your father is. Okay.
All right.
Okay, you ready for the chorus?
Let's hit the hook.
All right. Heaven's tearing open.
Wait. Heaven is a piece of paper now. It's tearing open.
It is. No, Vin. It's tearing open wide.
Oh my goodness.
It's tearing open and open wide. Okay. Oh, we might not feel it. But according to these lyrics, I feel it down on the inside. Yeah. Heaven's tearing open wide. I feel it down on the inside. I feel it down on the inside. Oh, down on the inside. And then we get to, we are a chosen generation baptized with tongues of fire. Believe
Who's
in
this
the
guy? Benny Hinn's
promises.
nephew?
We're going to see what the prophet said. I'm like, what prophet? That's a really generic term because there's a lot of
Ah,
prophets who told me what's going to happen to all of these people. It's more than a visitation because we're in the house of God. Start living in the promises like you know who your father is. And then, as you can see, I kind of skipped over and then I got to the refrain. The water is wild, wild, wild. That repeats 6 more times. The water is wild, wild. Guys, come on. This is something very demonic in this. And then here we go with the chorus. I don't even have to repeat that. They're repeating it for me. And then what is this spontaneous stuff all of a sudden, this spontaneous worship? So then, anybody got heaven on the inside? No.
wow.
I feel heaven on the inside, on the inside. I went down to the Jordan when I saw heaven open. Listen to this. This to me is so blasphemic. Please do not, if you haven't heard anything else I said. I saw the Spirit like a dove descending down.
What?
And I hear the voice of my Father saying, this is my child, this is my child. This, oh my gosh, I literally, I didn't even know what to say after reading this. I was like, Lord, the water is not wild, the water is demonically crazy. What are your thoughts on that? Wild, wild, wild.
That is very satanically inspired.
Mm-hmm.
Here again, they want to bring the kingdom to earth and get it ready for Christ, basically.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they're saying. We have to make everything perfect. So we got to start feeling it now. Got to get in touch with heaven tearing open so that when God comes, everything's already ready and done and he doesn't have to do anything.
Absolutely.
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
That is a sick way of thinking.
Yeah.
That's not biblical at all.
Not at all.
Wow.
All right.
Swig of water. Wow.
Makes us feel good. And knowing that he's comparing the dove falling on Christ to him.
My water is wildly tasting.
My tea is wildly healing, hopefully.
Yeah. The water is getting wild.
It is. Is everyone
With
in the
Ice
chat
Cube.
getting wild? I don't know. What did you guys think of that song? Wasn't that just wild?
Oh my goodness. You know, I actually have that sound effects that Rick Dees gave to me.
Really?
And that's one of them.
Oh, that's so funny. Well,
Yeah.
I downloaded some stuff from when I'm solo. That way I can be more entertaining. But when I have guests on, I try not. Okay. So the next one that we're going to dive into, and then that'll bring in the lyrics here, except for one little thing that I wanted to read as well. Bethel.
Oh.
So there's a lot of people who come out of Bethel, whether it be Jesus culture or Bethel. So Jesus culture was really popular, I don't know, about a decade ago. You had Kim Walker-Smith, who I played the song, Throne Room, which was totally terrible, and just the lyrics in that was just
And Brandon
terrible.
Fake.
Yeah, Brandon Tate. Yeah, Brandon who?
Brandon Fake instead of Brandon Lake.
Oh yeah, he did. No, Brandon Lake, didn't he come out? He came out of Elevation.
But I heard he's affiliated with Beth. He started with
Oh,
Bethel.
probably they all are. Oh my gosh. I mean, Bethel, their record label is tremendous. So Brian Johnson, which is Jen Johnson's husband, which Brian Johnson is Bill Johnson's son. Correct me if I'm wrong on that, but I think I'm right. You have Jeremy Riddle, Stephanie Gretzinger, Amanda Cook, who I believe is a demon. There's something way off with that woman. Jonathan David Helzer, Melissa Helzer, Matt Stinton, Hunter G.K. Thompson, Callie Heigenthal, Paul McClure, Hannah McClure. So those names sound, I'm pretty for some people here familiar. Leland, I know a lot of people have heard of him. Corey Asbury, I know a lot of people have heard of him.
Mr. Lipstick.
Yeah, and he also paints his nails too. Yeah, he's crazy, right? He's effeminate. I know. Josh Baldwin, Christine DeMarco, and Sean Fauci Ouchie is what I call him. Seriously.
Oh man.
So I was just reading some of these comments. Anyone can write such gibberish. You know, Val, I had a pleasure of downloading and making little video stuff for Val. And oh my gosh, you know what I totally forgot to do tonight, Vin?
What did you forget?
Nancy Hollywood, if you are here or if you're watching this on post, what I'm going to start doing is putting a book in the spotlight. And I put her book this week in the spotlight. She's one of our listeners. I'm sorry, let me digress here. Why Go Anywhere Else? Hope and Truth for Today. So she is our week's spotlight book. Nancy also said that if someone cannot afford the book, just contact her. I'll just get in touch with me. I'll get in touch with her, and she'll tell you what to do.
She wrote a book.
So anyway, she did. So why go? It was amazing the way she wrote it, and it was just like this. You can actually really even use it as a devotional. Can I grab it? Are you okay if I grab it real quick?
Yeah, please do.
All right, yeah.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, this is the insanity that continues to happen because the church itself is letting it happen. And when pastors and other leaders of churches don't speak up against all of this, the evils of the NAR movement will continue to ensue itself and bring its white magic into the churches. And you know what? They shouldn't even call those churches anymore. They should just call those, Asherah pole centers, because that's basically what it's turning into. These people are at the end of the day are capitulating to Moloch.
Oh yeah, amen on that one. So I'm just going to show this real quick so you guys see what I'm talking about. So I'm just going to open up randomly to this chapter 7. So she does these beautiful photos, and then in the chapter, they're so short, and they lived happily ever after. So literally that chapter, guys, so it's 1 page and a half. See? And then now it goes boom, chapter 8. This is such an amazing book, and she does it through the entire thing. So she gives just these snippets of, I mean, if you have a lost one, a loved one that's lost, the way that Nancy wrote this book, can everyone be right? It's such a witnessing tool. And then at the end, Nancy gives her testimony, and she gives like a couple of photos and stuff. So anyway, this is that book again. Why Go Anywhere Else? Hope and Truth for Today. It was so good. I mean, I just plugged in. I couldn't put it down. It was so beautifully written. She's not an author, so Nancy Hollywood, if you're watching this on currently or on post, again, if you want to get this book, share this book with someone who is unsaved. Get in touch with me, or even write it in the comments, and maybe Nancy can reach out. I don't know. We'll make it work. But if you cannot afford this, Nancy said, get with her and she'll make sure that you have a copy. So I thank you for that. I appreciate that. It just dawned on me as I forgot my spotlight. I'm trying to do that, and I totally forgot. Because I'm sick. Not literally. I don't know.
And not sick mentally.
Both. I can't be both. I'm a little deranged.
Hey, I was trying to save you there.
I'm mental, aren't I? Sandra, she's not laughing.
Don't worry, I'm not Lauren Daigle and all those people. I can't do that kind of saving.
No, I can't rescue nobody.
I cannot rescue you.
No, I can't. Okay, let's move on. There we go. So let's get on to our wonderful Bethel. Here we go. Reckless Love. It was there, and I changed the theme now to a circus theme. So I hope you guys enjoy the circus theme, because this is that's what Bethel is. It's a circus. It's a clown show. So I want to know, it starts off, Vin, and it says, before I spoke a word, you were singing over me. I want to know, first of all, the chapter and verse that God was singing over me before I spoke a word. I didn't know we were being sung over. I'm wondering what is it like in each individual song? Hold on, let me let me put us on. So is it like so Vin, do you have your own special birthday song? Did I have my own special birthday song? Okie Girl, I Just Happen to Look, Just Vicky, Lori, Val, Ren, Terry, Jamie. Do you guys all have Sandra? Do we all have our own little private song that God gave us?
Not that I know of.
I haven't gotten it yet. Have you heard
No,
it
me
yet?
neither. I didn't
Okay.
receive that one.
I mean, I
No.
literally just had a birthday on Wednesday, and I still have not heard my birthday song.
Wow, that's crazy. So you didn't get your birthday song.
I did not. So
That's crazy. So I didn't receive mine either, and it already passed in May. So should I be waiting on that birthday song or
I
something?
think so
don't know.
because it says before I spoke a word. So before any of us spoke a word, we should have gotten the singing song. I don't know. Anyway, okay, my bad. Let's go back to this because it's gonna get better from here. You have been so good to me. Before I took a breath, you breathed your life into me. Okay.
Okay, that's true. God did
Here we
breathe
go.
life into us. Yes.
You have been so kind to me. Oh, and I'm sure everyone's singing the song. The overwhelming, never-ending, can't stand this word because he's not, reckless love of God. God is so not reckless. Oh, it chases me down, fights till I'm found, leaves the 99. Clearly,
Okay,
they
that's
have
true.
no idea what that. Yeah, but they don't know what the passage means, though.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. Okay, we'll give it to him. I agree.
Leave
I
the
just
99
reread it.
behind. God does that to get to
Yeah, to
gain
get to that
one.
one.
Jesus did that. Yes.
Yep. Okay, I couldn't earn it. Thumbs up. I don't deserve it. Thumbs up.
Mm-hmm.
Still, you give yourself away. I don't know how I feel about that.
Whoa. What
You
is this?
didn't
A
give
wedding?
yourself away. I don't know. Like, still, you died for me. I don't know. I think that would flow better. I don't know, Val. You are the songwriter. Why don't you just give us some of your lyrics? How you would change this? Oh, the overwhelming, never-ending, reckless love of God.
What?
Yeah, because God is reckless. Did you not know that? God is reckless.
No, I didn't know that. I know
Yes.
he's all and perfect. I know that. But
Yeah, no,
reckless?
he's
No, I don't know that God is reckless.
Yeah, kind of like
Tell
a
me
reckless
something I don't
driver.
know here, buddy, because
Yes, he's
as far as I
reckless.
know, God is not reckless. He's not reckless. I can't even say that word.
Yeah.
Reckless love. Okay.
So
All
the
right.
love of God is supposed to wreck us, I guess. I don't know.
Man. How many
Yeah.
car crashes did he get into to get this one going?
Well, he got in a crash while he was trying to birth us a new song.
Yeah. Reckless
I
love.
have no idea.
It's
Oh
a
my
reckless
gosh.
song.
It's a very reckless song. And it continues. It says, when I was your foe, still your love fought for me. You've been so good to me. When I felt no worth, you paid it all for me. See, I don't like that because when I felt no worth, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know. That lyric bothers me.
Mm-hmm.
You have been
should.
so kind to me. And then, of course, it goes back into the
hook.
never-ending, overwhelming, reckless love of God. She feels it in the morning. Maybe not in the evening because there
He
is
doesn't
none.
feel it in the midday either.
No. I don't know if I put these on here. Let me see. She doesn't feel it anytime. Oh, I did. So here's this more spontaneous stuff. So she just spontaneously combusts because I feel it in the morning. Your love is all around me. But not in the afternoon or the evening. She doesn't feel it then. Only in the morning. There's no shadow you won't light up. Mountain you won't climb up. I can't see God climbing up a mountain. So,
Wow.
coming after me. There's no wall you won't kick down.
Whoa. He must have watched the Taken movies.
That's so funny. No lie you won't tear down. These are so human lyrics and not God lyrics. You feel the difference in that? Like this feels like I'm just writing a song like I used to write back in the day to like my ex-boyfriend or boyfriend or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And then she continues with the spontaneous. I feel confidence rising in the room. Yes, you love us. How deep you love us. You won't stop at nothing. You're relentless. I'm not even going to read it as a song. I'm going to read it like it's a poem. There's no shadow you won't light up. Mountain you won't climb up. Oh, your banner over us is love. Let the enemy read it.
Oh, my.
Let the enemy see it, your banner over us. Okay, all right, I'm done with that song.
Yeah, please, let's get rid of it.
Okay, I don't. What are your thoughts on the reckless love? Well,
Basically, they're saying that God is erratic in that song. That is not true. That is so blasphemous. Those lyrics are blasphemous. They're saying that God is reckless. That's what they're saying. Wait a minute.
Absolutely.
So if God is reckless, how did he recklessly create everyone? How did he recklessly create the universe? That's
He was
pure
reckless.
insanity in those lyrics.
Yeah, Kathy Marie, I'm going to put this on the screen real quick. This is what she says. Reckless is what it means. She literally copied and pasted. It's a person or their actions without thinking or caring about the consequences of an action. Reckless driving. You know, that's how my dad died. I said that in my life clip, by a reckless driver. Thank you, Kathy. God is not reckless.
No.
At all. Yes, Jamie, it's a complete painful song. I don't know why that song always, and a long time ago, Jeremy Camp, he also has a song called Reckless. Not as bad, but I just still couldn't. Once I heard this and then someone else, I'm like, that's true. There's nothing that we should be singing is reckless love about God. He's not reckless.
No. I mean, wait a minute. It's God's perfect love, not reckless love.
Yeah. They can't say that though.
No, they can't.
And that's what I find disturbing. And you had mentioned that before, Vin. Have you, from the time we've been here an hour, talking about these lyrics, let's say 45 minutes. How many times have you heard the word Jesus?
Oh, what? None. I think we've said Jesus more than they probably ever have in their lives.
Yeah.
Wow.
I haven't yet. And again, I know I cherry pick some songs, so I'm sure some of them have the word Jesus in it. I'm not saying every Bethel elevation doesn't have it, but the majority of them don't.
Is it Jesus of Nazareth?
No.
Exactly.
It's Jesus of their own mind. Absolutely.
Wowzers.
I know. All right, let's see what else I have on this. Oh, this one was terrible too. That's why I put them, making me dizzy. Okay, this is called King of My Heart. Let the king of my heart be the mountain where I run, the fountain I drink from. Oh, he is my song. And let the king of my heart be the shadow where I hide, the ransom for my life. Okay, one good lyric. Oh, he is my song. Yes, you are good, you are good. Oh, you are good, good. Oh, good, good. Oh, I'm sorry. I kept going. I was doing a mantra. Okay, verse 2. And let the king of my heart be the wind inside my sails.
Let the king of my heart be the wind inside my sails.
The anchor in the waves. Ooh, he is my song. Val, you're next. No, I'm teasing. I wish I could bring her on. Okay, this one was kind of creeping me out. Be the fire inside my veins. Are we on heroin?
No.
What the heck? I don't want fire in my veins.
Me neither.
I'm kind of afraid of what that might feel like.
I already like the fire of the Holy Spirit that he already gave to us.
Well, apparently that's not enough because we need it in our veins. Oh my gosh. Okay, the echo of my days. Ooh, he is my song. Oh, sing it again. And then you are good, you are good. Okay, and then do I have that on the screen? Because this thing just goes on forever and a day. I don't. Okay, I didn't put that on here.
Oh, okay.
Well, I said here on the slide, you're never going to let... Okay, let me go back
You're
here.
never going to let me down.
I know, I've heard this song being sung so many times.
You're never going to let me down.
Right here is that bridge. They repeat it so many times. You're good. You're never gonna let me down. I mean, come on already.
You know what? You should have played like
You are
big top
good.
music when you were reading these lyrics.
I know. I
Like some
probably
circus
could
music.
Dun, 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 dun. I don't know. Do I have any? I don't think I have any circus music. I have this one. No.
Oh man. You know, I actually know
Okay.
that guy.
This is what everyone's saying right now in the chat.
You've got to be kidding.
That's true. You've got to be kidding us. But we're not
Oh my
kidding,
God.
guys. This
We're
is what
not
it really
kidding.
is.
What is the next Hellbound lyrics that I have? Oh, wait. Yeah, I didn't do this one. Okay. So I did this one. This one is kind of creepy. And this is called Come Up Here. This is weird. This is very Bethel-like. Kind of like the
so they
Throne
think
Room
that they're in
by
the book
Kim
of Daniel
Walker.
now?
Yeah, I don't know
Come
what
up
they're
here.
doing. I'm kind of, I don't know. They might make up their own Bible, kind of like the Catholics have their own. I think Bethel has
Come
their
up
own.
here there.
Oh, okay. So Ren, I'm seeing some of your comments tonight, love. And I guess the good thing is that sis, you've realized, right? And I think moving forward, all of us have been there, and myself included. I told everyone
Yes.
I used to break every chain, you know what I mean, through Bethel.
Oh yeah.
I'd be singing these songs, and if it wasn't for my good friend Tawny, I probably would still be singing these songs, right?
Yeah.
But it wasn't until I heard someone say, stop singing these songs. And instead of listening to the music, instead of getting in it rhythmically, read the lyrics, and then get into the lyrics biblically. So, Ren, it's good. I mean, we're here together. I think we're all learning and growing. And, you know, I found myself even to this day, like, oh, should I even tell people? You might leave my...
Yeah, I used to stump my feet to some of these songs up until my buddies David and Zach said, "Hey, man, you gotta like cut that out." So
here, I'll prove my point, and then you guys can all yell at me. I might have already deleted them, but we'll see if I have or not. Because I really liked the song, and then after a while it gets very repetitive. So then I stopped listening to them. But so this song here, of course I get to the part where he's humming now. Hold on. Then they're gonna give me a copyright. Who cares?
yeah.
Though the earth may pass away, your word remains the same. Yeah, the history can prove there's nothing you can't do. You're faithful and true.
Oh, okay. So I love
Maverick
that song.
City Music?
I do. I love that song, Promises. I know. I'm sorry. I do. I have it on. I'm sorry, guys. I'm so sorry. But I have it on my Amazon Music. I do. And then I mean, this song is 8 minutes long, so clearly it's just the mantra at the end. So I just kind of get to it. And when they start going off on a tangent, I stop. Do y'all still love me? I'm sorry. But you know, I can't lie. I can't be that person on this podcast. I do. I have Maverick City. Okay, Vin, you're going to leave me now? I'm sorry.
I'm just kidding.
My bad. I do. I love the lyrics to the song because it is all about God and his promises, not to me. It's us, faithful and true. We're singing a song to the Lord. I really like it. And I know Maverick City is another bad one. I probably could have chose enough lyrics on them, but I didn't. So I'm sorry. Okay, I'm going to move on now to the lyrics. Okay, bye. Okay.
Hey, at least you confessed it.
I do. I mean, because I can understand the struggle with people like Ren or other people who struggle with some of this music, right? Because what else are we going to listen to all day long? It's just Amazing Grace, because that's going to get really old. Now, what we can do is put Val on the spot, and she can send everybody her music. And those is just some beautiful songs. And I'm so thankful that she asked me, and I helped her get some of these songs. I'll be finishing it up on Sunday, and I'll have her whole
Oh,
album done.
nice.
Yeah, I'm video editing some of her songs. So she cut an album, and so I just kind of, I love video editing, so I kind of put in what the Lord loves for me to do, and
And you
I
did your
finished
own
that.
intro too, didn't you?
I did. That's old.
You know, it reminded me of
Yeah.
like the early OOs of the CNN news intros.
Well, I did work for the devil. I learned a
Yeah, that's
lot
crazy how
working
we both
for
were
them.
working for Satan, huh?
I know. I worked for them, though. You got to remember, I left them I moved back to Florida in 2018, Vin. So I was working for them during the Trump stuff.
Oh man.
Yeah, I tell people all the time, they had cry rooms, they had puppy dog days, people were allowed to leave and not use their PTO, but every single conservative, which is probably like 7 of us out of the thousands, we had to
Uh-huh.
stay.
Oh man. And it was so crazy. People needed Play-Doh and they needed some rehab and all this other stuff because
Mm.
they were all hurt because of what happened. And me personally, I was kind of laughing when it happened. I stayed up until 1 a.m. when that all happened, and I was just like laughing because these
Yeah.
guys were like, "How could this have happened?" Well, it happened. We can't let this. Yeah, what
took
just took place here? But yeah, I heard there were people in tears at Communist Narrative Network.
That would be an understatement. And that was I worked in Atlanta.
Oh no,
like New York probably was shut down. Well, I mean, you can't really shut down news, but I'm sure a lot of departments like ours were,
Oh man, so you were
home.
basically in the belly of the beast.
I saw a lot of stuff, and that's why when I was telling people, like, so in the newsroom in Atlanta, it's not big like New York. So
No.
we had HLN, which is like Robin Meade back then. Nancy Grace was there. Vinnie Politan. So you had HLN was really big. You have CNN Espanol is there, and then you've got I can't think of the gentleman's name. He used to play football, but he was on HLN as well. But then over in Midtown, off of William Street, you've got another campus that's called Techwood. So down there, that's where NBA Studios is. You have Adult Swim, Cartoon Network, and all of that stuff. So I remember CNN in the edit bays, and I know that you've been in the industry. So in an edit bay, you've got, it's dark as night. You have 70,000 monitors around you. You're in it, like literally in the size of my desk area is the size of your work area. You've got headsets on all day, and you're editing clips of videos day in and day out. And I would say, and you couldn't, when you got on that level, that floor, you couldn't use your cell phone, right? I don't know what they did, but you couldn't use your cell phone. And like it was inoperable. And you can't take photos, of course, because it's so dark, so the flash, everything, people would know. But you would see them manipulating every single time President Trump would say something. And again, this is 2016. And you would see them manipulating those videos. And then how they one by one started taking out their on-air contributors who were conservative. And we would just, because I worked in the employment, and so I would do the contracts. And then you would just see, like, you know, the only one at that point I think they kept was like Ben Ferguson, and then he finally went away. But then you just see, because as an independent contractor, you're not an employee, so you've got a pay or play clause in your contract. So if they don't play you, you don't get paid. So a lot of these independent contractors, well, of course, you know, on-air contributors, well, they're not being played. So then they, you know, termination. I'm like, why are you guys terminating all these conservative voices if you're so both ways? You're like, you're not.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I can go on and on about them. All right, so let's finish this up real quick, and then we're just going to take some questions. So this one is really, really bad, guys. So again, this is by Bethel. It's very similar to Throne Room. These songs, again, are written in a room where people are invoking demons. I don't care what anyone says, that's what's happening.
Oh yeah, doctrine of demons all the way.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So let's see. Invisible, yet tangible. You know, I know God's invisible, yet tangible. Tangible means I can touch it. I can't, I haven't been, I wish I could touch Christ. I don't like that because I don't feel like we can I can feel him. I can feel the presence, right? But yet tangible. Tangible is you can touch that. And then this is just weird. Childlike and simple. God is not childlike. And God is certainly not simple. Limitless. Heaven thinks like this. What? Oh, this is the kingdom realm. I mean, that is just the first verse. Like, it's right there, if you guys can look at it on the screen. Now I feel heaven close. I can hear you calling. Come up here. The door standing open. Now, you know where they got this from is Revelation. Too bad they're not using it in context. Come up here. Just let's go. Just let go of all the weight. When you're up here, there's no chaos or confusion. It's clear. Come up here. So are they coming up there currently in their current state? Or are they talking, you're dying, so now come up here? Because none of us are welcome to heaven until we die or fly. I don't know. And then it says, higher thoughts, right? Higher ways, not by sight, only by faith. Your word it leads and your spirit guides. Oh, I was born for this kingdom realm. So then it says in this pre-chorus, I think I have it up there. So quiet all the noise. Listen, you can hear him. Then you repeat the chorus. And I did share the rest of it. What water am I walking on? And what's my sea to part? Right? Now, what are they? Jesus?
You know
If
what?
faith... What?
This is little God 2.0 syndrome. They're walking on water and they're talking about parting the sea, or are they trying to get everything to be like they're the Moses of today or something, or what?
They are, because watch out, here comes Pharaoh. Here comes Pharaoh. Sorry, my nose is now deciding to drain as I'm live and on air. This is great. But hey, I got to do what I got to do.
Yep.
Oh,
live.
the joys of being live. Okay, so faith can move mountains. Oh, let faith now fill my heart. Well, if you're already Christian, shouldn't it already be there? Why are you asking for faith to fill your heart? Because the kingdom, it is coming, and yet it's here right now. Well, this is the kingdom? Because I want a refund.
Wow.
So I'll close my eyes and lift my sights on heaven all around. It's all around. It's all around. Ooh, 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 ooh. So come up here. The door's standing open. Come up here. Just let go all of the weight. When you're up here, there's no chaos or confusion. It is clear. So come up here. And brother, that I can go on forever in a day.
I can tell. I can tell. Look at that.
All right. So
their God must be Joel Osteen.
It's got to be.
Yeah.
It's got to be.
Or
So I don't know. Talk to me now. I know I did a lot of reading lyrics, so it's your show.
It's your show. I'm just enjoying.
Well, it's your time. It's your time. It's your show. It's your show. Listen, anyone who comes on, mi casa su casa.
Hey, grazie, gratias por todo.
What's grazie? Isn't that French?
No, grazie is Italian, but
oh, that's why it sounded familiar because I'm Italian.
You should know.
I'm like, wait, that sounded really familiar. I'm like, wait, I know I've heard that before. Is it French? Oui, oui.
Oh man, it's hilarious.
Oh
no,
my God.
You know what? These lyrics, they should have been questionable from the beginning. And it's like I said, when certain mega televangelists or so-called pastors don't get a hold of stuff like this is how things start to get out of control like wildfire. And that's how this CCM invasion has like really poisoned the doctrine. It's like, well, we're gonna do an Andy Stanley and cancel out God. Basically that's what they're doing. This is what this is leading to. And like we said earlier, people need to really be aware of the lyrics of songs, because trust me, I've played some songs that were very, very questionable. And I'm like, wait a minute, that doesn't sound right. It's like predictive programming. That's what that is. They're programming people.
Mm-hmm.
into, buying into what they're selling. And that's why they put the title Christian in front of it, because they know that people will fall for the con job. They will fall for the pigeon drop, an old New York street con job.
Mm.
And guess what? They have gotten people by the millions, hook, line, and sinker.
Yeah.
And,
Yes.
and even some pastors of good churches, of a couple of good churches, let this music carry on in their churches. And that's not good, because you're confusing the minds, when you're trying to preach the word, and you're letting people hear the lyrics of those songs. So they're thinking that they're getting God in those songs, and they're not getting nothing but not Jesus even at all in those songs. You're not even getting a pinch of Jesus in any of these records.
Nope. No. And I would it honestly, like, if someone can let me know, and again, I know that they occasionally will mention the word Jesus, but even in the chat, or even Vin, if you can tell me, like, I'm going to say 95% of our supposed, not just worship, but Christian music today, very rarely do you hear the word Jesus. And I don't know, am I wrong on that?
No. You're not wrong at all. You're not wrong at all. And you'd be actually surprised if you hear the word the Lord. You are Lord.
Yeah.
But you hardly hear that.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not surprising to me. Look, what they call Christian music of today is basically top 40 music from 1999 to 2002.
Mm-hmm.
That's what this is. It's just at another level. And people are being fooled like there's no other.
Yeah.
They're falling for the fool's gold. It's fool's gold music. That's what it is.
It is.
Yeah.
It's to make them feel good too, if you think about it, right? We live in an emotional world. It's all about
Oh my
me.
goodness. I get the feeling like Hillsong.
Yes.
Can you feel it, everybody? When Brandon Lake and all those guys are yelling at the crowds.
Yeah.
Can you feel it? What?
I know, that was a great takedown, Hillsong. I'm so glad that they kind of vanished.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what, though? A lot of these people are going to vanish in a different way.
They are. I mean, my hope, not to the false teachers, but my hope to some of these people, I don't believe anyone is too far gone, unless they are invoking demons. But even then, I mean, a Satanist can still come to the Lord. But my hope is that when the rapture happens and they're left behind, it's in that moment that they're going to be like, oh, dang, I guess the kingdom wasn't here the whole time and I was wrong. So I do feel like some of these people are going to awaken from their fame stupor and say, Lord, forgive me. Because I do believe a lot of them, like Brandon Lake, he's a preacher's kid, I mean, he's definitely churched. So, but they want to be famous. They want to be cool. And if you even look at their appearance, half of them don't even resemble godly people. They look just like the world.
Yeah. So, and you know what? Hey, and I hope the guy repents.
Yeah.
I hope some of these people do repent. But it's really hard to see if they're going to repent. It's really hard to see if they do this, because the way that they continue to go, it's just insane. I mean, they were at the, the tranny Grammys celebrating, all of this other stuff. I mean, they were clapping in the audience to the satanic performance of Samantha Smith and all these other people. So, yeah. Yeah, for those who know me in the chat, they know I go there with naming certain people like that. So,
that is funny. Goes. So your mod, Joanna, she mentioned, so I just happened to see the comment, but Joanna, Vin, he did mention, he posted it on his Instagram that he would be going live. She was just asking that how come you didn't post. Usually you post, but I saw you. Didn't you post on Instagram?
Yeah, I posted on Instagram yesterday.
Yeah. Oh, look at you.
It probably went away today because it was like the Insta story, but that was the only way I could put your YouTube link in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I did post Joanna. And Joanna's a great mod too. She's one of my great mods. Her and Pookie and a couple others.
Wow. Yeah, I love watching our little families. You watching us all just kind of come together and
well, in times like this, we have to intertwine and get this popping, because we're getting close to the end of the age. Like there's no
Mhm.
Christmas.
Absolutely.
So we have to band together as a family in Christ, big time.
Absolutely agree. So are
With
you
the
okay with
truth.
taking a few questions?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, so guys, Sandra, if you want to put all that good stuff up on the board, I've already started a couple. I'm sure you noticed that. So let me just say again, thank you guys so much for taking time out with us tonight, going over some lyrics. And there's so many good ones. I just don't want to sit and say they all stink. But unfortunately, it's kind of like the rotten apple in the bunch, right? It's going to sour
Yeah.
everything. So we just have to use discernment in that. But Vin, do you have anything else that you want to comment on with the music and stuff?
No, not really, because I think we've said it. We've said enough, but I just hope and pray that people really use discernment when it comes to listening to these artists. And there are certain people that we didn't even touch on, like Rain Collective, and they're just weird
so
people.
bad.
And also Phil Wickett. We didn't touch on him either. and
Did you
from
say
personal
Wiccan? Wiccan?
Yeah.
Like
yeah. Yeah. So from personal experience from some people that I know, he's just not a genuinely nice guy. He's really full of himself. So
Phil Wickman is, yeah?
yeah.
You know
So,
he's the worship leader of Greg Laurie church, or used to be? I don't know if he's still there.
I have questions about Greg Laurie too, but I
Yeah, I'm
won't
not
get
a
into
fan
that.
of Greg Laurie.
Yeah.
at all.
Mr. No substance behind his preaching.
Wait, I thought he'd had substance.
You know what's funny? There's who Ray Comfort is, right?
I do.
Oh man, there's a sermon that he did back in the day, and he kind of like calls him out about the Crusades and all this stuff.
Really?
It's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy. But
yeah, he's I don't know.
yeah, and when I had Zach on, somebody texted me when Zach was on with me, and somebody goes, "Hey, VinnDogg, did you watch that Greg Laurie love story?" I'm like, "No, I didn't go and see that."
You know what I think about the Jesus Revolution? I'm just going to say this. Okay, I can understand once you're gone and deceased to put a movie out about yourself.
But when you
But
get an
how
actor that-
vain can one person be to say, I'm going to put out a movie about myself because it's not about anything else but really me.
Mhm. It's going to be a
Like, that
little
is
bit about
so
Chuck
vain.
Smith, but not all the way.
Right, it's about me, guys. No, really.
Yeah, it's all about
seriously.
me. It's all
It's
about
about
me.
Greg Laurie, about Greg Laurie.
Yeah.
I just don't get
Yeah.
that.
You know what? And I'm gonna say it because I have no ties with the guy. And if people get offended about what I say, that's their issue. They can take it up with God and not me.
Yeah.
But during the demic, that church was closed and they only held like tent services outside, and they kind of capitulated to BLM. So yeah, let's just call it out like it is. So I can care less because Greg Laurie's not Jesus Christ. He's not going to save my soul. So I can say how I feel because God has given me that voice to do that. But I'll tell you this much. I think that the fame is gone. Rock stars got to keep the jet fuel money going.
Oh, absolutely. They have to. So I just noticed Val's comment. So again, just kind of like
Shots fired.
right. Just like people getting saved on a Billy Graham crusade, I believe that Jesus can use anything. So I do agree with that, Val. I think there were a lot of people. I don't think as many as what we're professing, and I know I did that math with Sandra, because we're the kids of that generation, if you think about it. And now our kids, I mean, we're so far from God. Where was this revolution? So, right? I mean, that's how I feel about that. If everyone just got so radically saved, why are we 50 years less? All of a sudden, we're like the most hellish country. I would say if that revolution actually took place, I think America should have been good for another 100 years if everyone was so radically baptized. But I do agree with that, Val. I think a lot of people did come out of that Jesus Revolution movement. I mean, born again, and they're still living today. But I don't think the majority of them did. I just don't. And I think Lonnie Frisbee alone is a poison to that movement. And
yeah.
You know, you can't birth darkness and then turn it into something light. He was on an LSD trip in the middle of nowhere,
Sounds like
claimed that
Joseph
God
Smith.
called him.
I'm sorry, Kim. I shouldn't do that on your show. I'm sorry.
Oh my gosh. Okay, we're ending now. Y'all have a great night. Bye-bye.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my gosh. All right, let's take a question. I see only 4 for right now. So if anyone's got any questions. Okay, I gotta go to this so I don't weave and bob over my camera. This is coming in for Ren. Hello, beautiful. How do we approach people? So you can take the you can answer these, Vin. How do we approach people in the church about the dangers of singing these songs or song by artists that are compromised, even if the lyrics are sound? What say you?
I would, basically you could use scripture to back up things that you're trying to tell these wonderful people about these artists and their lyrics. And you can also, be research ready also. You can back it up with a lot of, stuff. I mean, Zach has a lot of ammunition when it comes to you wanting to explain why people shouldn't listen to some of these artists.
Mhm.
So, I mean, trust me, he has a lot of it. He has a huge vault of stuff, and he's still working on some stuff. So, yeah. And plus, it's all about praying, having them to pray for discernment too, because we don't want to, detour them all the way, because some people get discouraged when you try to tell them things that's true.
Mhm.
And we've all been there
Yeah.
in certain situations. It was hard for us to face reality in certain things. And so we have to, we can do it in love, speaking the truth in love, and also, giving them good reasons why they shouldn't listen to these guys and gals.
Absolutely.
So,
So I'll say this to piggyback off what you just said, Vin. So I don't want to go into the whole entire story again with Tawny, but we became fast friends when we both went to Passion City Church. And then when God recklessly moved me from the church, I use that on
he
purpose.
yanked you out of there.
He did. God was like, "Nuh-uh, my child ain't going there." So Tawny, she followed suit. But we were driving one day after church to go to lunch, and I am just jamming out to Break Every Chain by Jesus Culture. And I could just feel like this presence just staring at me. So I'm like, "What's up, girl?" She's like, "Why are you singing that?" And I'm like, "Break every chain, girl, break every chain." So we went to lunch and she done broke my face off because she told me, "What are you doing?" And I said, "What do you mean?" And so she brought me down the Hillsong and Jesus Culture at that point. So this was a decade ago, rabbit hole. And so to answer your question, Ren, she approached it knowing how to approach it. And that's how we know the difference between a Christian who wants to really learn and a Christian who just wants to sit and be entertained, right? Sheep and goats. Do you want your ears tickled or do you really want to hear the truth? So I wasn't rude to Tawny. I didn't say, "How dare you? You're so judgmental, blah, 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 blah." I listened to what she said. And then from that point forward, I read the lyrics before I would jam out to Breaking Every Chain. And that's what happened in my world. All right, next question, Miss Thing. It's coming in from Kim K. Piggybacking off of Ren's question, are there any resources, books you can recommend for sharing with pastor worship leaders on this? I know we mentioned Zach has a few things. I can't think of anything. What about you?
Not really. I mean, whew.
That's a good question.
Yeah, that's a great question. But I'm pretty sure there's some things out there.
Spencer Smith, he's an amazing resource.
Oh
even
yeah,
though he's a podcast.
check out Spencer Smith. He really has the answers to these questions that you're asking.
Mhm.
Like he can really break it down for you.
Absolutely.
Yeah, check out Spencer Smith. I mean, because there's not too many people that are, calling out these, these heresies that are happening.
They're not.
No,
And
there's
most of
very
them are like
few.
Calvinist people, like Justin Peters. They're the ones who really mark these people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Wow. So the next question is actually for you, Vin.
Oh
And
no,
it is from Pookie. So how
Pookie!
long? And I don't know if I'm saying this right. So I'm assuming that these are radios. So how long were you on KIIS? I was 91X and KROQ. All right, that's radio lingo.
Yeah. 91X is a station, was a rock station in San Diego. They were like the San Diego version of K-Rock.
Mhm.
And KRQ is an LA based radio station.
So was Pookie on air talent too? Was he, or was he just?
Hey, Pookie is in the house. I actually was an intern at KISS from 97 to 2000. But I was able to be around the radio station like around 87, 88 when I was in junior high school. So I was getting some radio experience at an early age. It was kind of cool, to be honest with you. So yeah, I was at KISS for 3 years. It was cool. Great experience too, because you got to really learn how a real radio station should operate. But it doesn't work that way anymore. Yeah.
All right.
It's all junkyard radio now.
Junkyard radio.
I know we should make a jingle.
I don't have a jingle.
We should make a jingle called Junkyard Radio.
That would be a good one. That's what I'm going to call my new addition to the podcast instead of Candor and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be Junkyard Radio. I'm going to have Val do the intro. Okay, next question is coming in for our beloved Sandra. If you are visiting a church and a Bethel song comes up during worship, do you sing along, leave, or quietly pray? So, Kim, I used to just stand there like a brick. Now, I'll say this. In the old church that I went up to up in Palm Harbor, it was a Calvary Chapel. And this is kind of going to answer Kim K's question, so you don't have to put that up. I'll just bang them out here in one time. So I sat down with the pastor, and Brett and we had a discussion, and he was very open to the discussion. And at that point, he said, because a lot of pastors don't really know. I'm going to be honest. Like, they're not sitting around just reading lyrics to Christian songs, and half of them were too busy to probably listening to half of these songs. So he said, I didn't know that. And I said, well, just, read some of the lyrics and then know what happens behind closed doors at Bethel, da, 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 da. So the only reason that I really didn't feel like he was listening is because he didn't understand the demonic presence that Bethel has when creating the music. Although the lyrics are good, just like the devil masquerades as an angel of light, you're still you're breeding demonic things. So anyway, but then he did mention that even some of our hymnals can be very questionable. So I think it's a conversation. It's a tough conversation, but if your pastor is willing to have the conversation, your lead senior pastor, not some associate or not some cookie cutter, whatever intern, you need to go to your lead pastor. And if they're not willing to have a conversation, I'm not saying leave the church, but I would question their motives. How come you're not going to have a conversation about this? And even when I brought it up to Matthew, he listened to what I said. Clearly it fell upon deaf ears because they're still playing it in the churches. But anyway, how would you? Would you sing along, Vin? Would you leave? Would you quietly pray?
Oh man, you know what's crazy? I don't have a poker face when it comes to stuff like this, right?
Neither do I.
So I was at a men's breakfast about a couple months ago, and they were singing these songs, and everybody's like standing up, and they're worshiping, and all I could look around the room and do is see like sheep heads. That's all I saw were sheep heads. I did not see the faces of the brothers in the church. I just saw sheep heads, and I'm thinking to myself as I'm sitting, I'm like, wow, these people are being sheepled, but the lead pastor of the church knows that these songs are like satanically inspired. So he actually cut some of the stuff out, but some of the worship teams, they sneak it in there still, because senior pastors have a hard job.
They do.
And sometimes they can't get a grasp on everything. But when you get a chance to talk to your pastor and they're willing to listen and and they start questioning it, and that's when your pastor's on point. When they listen to what you have to say, and they better have a good explanation on why they're still playing the music, because there's nothing you can get out of that. So yeah, that's great. Talk to your leaders of the church, because that's important. That's vital. And if they continue to say, hey, you know what, we're going to keep on punching it to the engine with this music, that's when you better start like really thinking about like what's really going on in this building,
Absolutely.
Are they just trying to fill the seats and satisfy the needs, of those people? Not the needs, but the wants of the feel good, just to get them in there. You got to really ask yourself that question. But me personally, when I hear those songs, I don't have a poker face, and I've been told that, wow, we can see that Tucker Carlson look on your face.
You know what? It just reminded me, and this is, I think, some worship leaders, not all, but it's also very lazy, because the role of a worship leader is to really create their own worship. That's technically what worship is in the Bible. It's just a song to the Lord. And so we're taking all of these songs from other people, and now, we might do it acoustically, or we might change the beat or the tone this way or the key. But the bottom line is, a worship leader, even if you got to make up your own stuff, it doesn't matter. And then you bring that to the congregation. So that's the big thing too, is and even if you don't want to do that, there's so many different people that are out there that have amazing lyrics to songs that you could be using in the place of, that will do the same thing that they do, So I think it's also a lazy thing with a lot of worship leaders. They really need to lead worship. And if you're in the Word and you're studying the Word, you can do that, and then you can make up your own songs. It doesn't matter if it doesn't make, it doesn't have to be like perfect.
Yes.
Because it's to God anyway.
And by the way, if these churches are like live online, like say for instance, if they're on YouTube or whatever, or even Spotify, do you realize that these artists are getting paid every time that song is playing during a worship set when it's live online?
Yep.
They're getting paid. They're making these people money. So yeah, it's great to always question things that are going on like that. So
absolutely,
yeah, people got to put the hammer down.
They do. All right, next question we got coming in from Kathy Marie.
Kathy!
She says, I think the Jesus Revolution had its purpose. It did birth some really great teachers. Question: what would our society look like if it had never happened? Was it perfect? Did it last? Well, I don't know. I think we're looking at what our society, I think the Bible tells us the world is going to wax worse and worse. So whether it's Jesus Revolution or not, our society is just right where it needs to be today. I think the key to that, or any movement, and I can't stand that word, is the fruit after it, right? Not just the temporary, because none of us can say a prayer. Like Billy Graham was notorious for that, the sinner's prayer. And then all of a sudden, well, they're still leaving a sinner because they're not truly saved. So that's the whole thing, Kathy, or anyone. It's what's the fruit that came out of it? Okay, well, okay, yes, amazing pastors came out of it. But the lasting fruit of that Jesus Revolution, it did not last. And
right.
I'm a kid of that, right, Sandra? We went through that whole thing and we talked about that. If anyone is a Gen X, we are the kids of right?
Gen
X. We're the kids. So especially you then, you're from California, correct?
California, yes.
Yeah. So there you go, from I can't even say it.
California.
Okay, that word. You're from the commie land. And so same point, right? So technically
Mhm.
your parents would have been part of the Jesus revolution, but how is it just shy again, half a century later? Worse, in our generation, we can't even raise our kids godly. And then you've got millennials to heck with Gen Zs and Alphas because they're just like, Jesus, who?
Mhm.
So that's what I mean. It's not lasting fruit. What do you say on that Jesus revolution?
I kind of agree with that because there was no trickle down effect.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody was handing it down at the local level at the churches. It was like, oh, okay, Jesus Revolution, cool, bro.
Yeah,
All right, it's like Papa Chuck took care of it, but I guess we're good. We don't have to do too much. I think the church lost its power as far as being an influence in the communities, and that's where we're at. That's why we're where we're at today. And sometimes you have to also blame the parents for not being
absolutely.
stern enough to raise the children godly, you know,
Yeah.
because that's vital. Like in my family, we were, raised, Christian conservative. And let me tell you, the word conservative did come from Christians. All right.
Mm-hmm.
So, that's crazy to me that, that a lot of parents didn't trickle the trickle down effect, because if it was really a revolution, we wouldn't be in this situation that we're in right now today,
Absolutely.
because America has not repented for all of the things that it's done.
Mm.
You know, there are people that are coming to our country from other countries as missionaries. Are you kidding me? You know the old saying, clean up your own house before you go out and start, spreading the gospel somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
That was the problem with the whole thing. We didn't tell people, hey, you know what? We got to clean up our house here, and then we can go and, share the love of Christ and the good news of his kingdom with the rest of the world.
Yeah.
If you don't take care of the home front first, man, we're in the toaster. That's why I firmly believe that this country has been given over into judgment. Just by the things that I see happening today.
Yeah. I think to a degree too, because I do agree, but then I kind of disagree because there is a big remnant of believers in America, more so than other places. And I just feel like God, yes, are we going to suffer man's judgment? Absolutely. But I don't know if God's full hand of judgment yet is on America because we have might not be a big remnant, but it's big enough, I think, to where that mercy that God has over us. But I do believe in some ways, definitely, we're seeing a lot. Absolutely. So actually, one person actually said, I'm going to put that up real quick from Caroline, Sandra. She said, do they get royalties for every song? I heard a pastor say it's just an annual fee for copyright. And I think she's right on that. So I know like on Spotify, they get royalties like that. But if they're using it in a church, the church pays those annual fees. Do you know anything about that? I believe she is correct. Do you know?
Right? Put it this way. It kind of works like radio. All right. Every time a song plays, they get the tab runs up every time that song gets played. So yeah, they do pay at the end of the year, but they get paid per twist. Every time that song gets played by Bethel or, Elevator Down and, Maverick Cityless and Dante Boer, that they're running up the tab. So yeah, they do pay a tab at the end of the year, but it's for how many times that song got played. So if say for instance, if a church plays on their worship set a Brandon Fake song 20 times within that year, that church is paying out for each time that song got played at the end of the year. It's like the ASCAP BMI reports. at the end of the year. So yeah, I know how that works because that's how it was in radio. We had to fill out an ASCAP BMI report every year on every shift. We had to literally write down every song that was playing because the labels and the artists, or even if they were independent artists, which was very few, they had to get the tally of how much the station owed at the end of the year for those records. So yeah, it's a pay for play move. It is big time.
That's a lot, but I knew that you couldn't give more clarification for that. So the last two questions are actually from Pookie, and they're both for you. Is there one important thing holding you back from this dirt clod, or are you ready to blast off in a twinkling of an eye? And then his second question to you is, besides Pastor Chuck, do you know any other pastor who has a good singing voice like Chuck? Tick-tock, tick-tock. Only Pookie. I don't know. I would love to meet him. I feel like he is just... For a while, though, like in the beginning, I didn't know. I thought that was a girl. And someone's like, that's a dude. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah, Pookie, man. Cousin Pookie. You know what? First, I'm ready to blast off. But until then, I got to keep punching it to the engine. And you know how that goes, Pookie. Yeah, I just keep on throwing the haymakers until God calls us home. Second, pastor that knows how to sing. Like Pastor Chuck. I don't know. That's
Pookie
tough.
Have you stumped right now? So Chuck Smith was a singer?
I didn't know. Well, I guess he could. He could hold a little bit of a tone, but
so
I would say
is Pookie lying though?
No.
Is he joking? Because sometimes I don't know when he's joking or serious.
I know.
It's always like thumbs up. I think he's right. Is he joking? What is he saying?
I was going to tell him Pastor James. I was going to say Pastor James Cadiz, my boy, my bro. Have you heard James Cadiz?
He's too loud. I can't listen to him.
But he tells it like it is too.
Yeah, I used to. He is just too loud for my brain. Again, I'm really loud, and when I say someone is louder than me, it's loud. And I know it's that Middle Eastern thing, but he is loud.
I love that guy. That guy. I love his passion.
Okay, so let me ask you a question. I don't know if this is me. Can you do your voice sound effect one more time? I'm assuming that's for you. That's from
That's for you.
What voice effect? The
that
voice
was you.
I have right now.
That was you that did the voice sound effect earlier. Or are they talking about the reverb like that?
They may be. I mean, I do have a voice thing, but it's a whatchamacallit. Here, hold on.
That's a candy bar.
Can you hear me now? Does my voice sound different?
No, not yet.
It doesn't?
No.
All right, let's see. Hold on.
Boom, 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 boom.
I can change stuff here, so hold on.
Do.
I don't know if you can hear me. Did my voice change?
No, it didn't change.
Oh, wait, because I don't have the button on.
Ooh, that would work. It was in solo.
Can you hear me now? What about now? Is my voice changing? Does it sound different?
It's not changing.
It's not. Okay, hold on. Has it changed yet?
No. That's weird, huh?
Yeah, I guess it's not. I don't know. And then sometimes when I don't have it on, they're like, what happened? I'm like, I guess my voice changer's on.
It's the technology thing
It is.
now.
Well, yeah. I don't know. I think it was you, though, not me, because you're the one who has the really cool stuff. You know what I mean?
Thank you.
There you go.
Oh my gosh. So I did have this one up for tonight, and I thought it would be pretty funny. So I always kind of put memes on my RLEs. Sandra, if you got to go, my love, you are more than welcome. I know you got a family thing tonight. Don't feel like you have to stay. Just get on out of here and go enjoy. Is it okay if she comes on for 2 seconds, though, Vin, to say goodbye to everyone? I love putting her on the spot.
I don't know why she wasn't on with
us
us in the first place.
She's gonna be a guest on my. She doesn't realize she's just hearing it now. On my new little thing that I'm gonna do. She'll be on the video while I'm not in this setting, but on the couch setting, more of a informal podcast, not talking about anything, prophetic or stuff like this.
Just drinking
Just
some cold
laughter.
lemonade, right?
So can you come on real quick, Sandra, and say hi? Yeah, because she's so cute tonight. She's got her hair. Look at
Hi, family.
say hi.
Kim loves
I
to
love
put
her
me
little
under.
baby bangs. Her little baby bangs. I wish I had that. She's so
I used to hate them
adorable.
when I was a kid because everybody
I
would
love
always
them.
point them out. But now I like them.
Yeah, you can just do a lot. They're so cute. It's a girl thing, Vin. This is what
Right.
Sandra and I do for 7 hours after we get off the
Oh,
podcast.
yeah.
We just talk about stuff.
Yeah, and
Well,
you're 3
God
hours
bless you for
ahead.
that. Well, that's good.
Yes.
That's good.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So she's gonna leave us, guys, because she's got something to
My niece's birthday today, so they're having a late
yes.
party.
Well, get out of
Hi,
here.
everyone.
Thank you
Just Vicky.
for joining.
Okay, girl says go to the bathroom.
Find
You
out
gotta
what
go
kind
potty?
of cake she has and let us know.
So we'll
Hi,
go
everyone.
potty and go enjoy your night. Tell the family I
Thank
said
you.
hello, and we will connect, I guess, next week.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Thanks, Vin Dogg.
No problem,
Yeah.
Sandra. Thank you for hooking it up.
Love you guys. Have
Love
a good night,
you.
everyone.
You too.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. So we have one final question, and this is from Pookie. Oh, to me. Have you ever been to Californication? No. So I would love to see California. I think my ex-husband really likes going out there, except for the traffic. I think I would be interested in going, but no, I've never been. I'm afraid like the big earthquake will hit or something when I'm out there, and then the whole ground will
man.
shake. I don't know. I have a lot of friends that live out in California, believe it or not. So more so northern than southern Cal, but they rave about it. They say how pretty it is.
Yeah, just don't go to Los Angeles right now.
Oh, you mean I can't intertwine with the homeless and stuff? But I want to. I want to hug
That's
them. I
one
want to
big
bathe them.
encampment of a city.
You know where I want to go? I want to go visit Nancy Pelosi in San Francisco.
Oh, you
That's
want to
what I
drop
wanna
people
do.
off at her mansion?
I do. I'm going to bring
Yeah.
a caravan in my SUV, and we're going to ride cross country. And I'll be like, here's home. Y'all get out now. I'm sure her husband will like you a lot.
Yeah. Good old Paulie. Good old
Oh
Paul
my
Pelosi.
gosh. I
Boy.
know. Crazy, right?
Mhm.
Unbelievable.
Crazy times we're living in, but you know what? Jesus is coming around the corner.
He is. So listen, you know what? Perfect segue. We're going to close it in for the night. I'm going to go and I'm going to finish taking my medicine because I'm getting a little nasally as it goes on. It's so weird. It's like I drain. I used almost a box of tissues and then it just stocks up again. I'm like, again,
Yeah.
I want my mommy. But again, 51 has not been nice at all, but it's okay. Next week, tune in. We have back on Mondo Gonzalez. We are going to talk about the seals, and then we'll make that a 3-part
Nice.
series. Yeah, then we're going to talk about trumpets and bowls vials after he comes back from all of his fall shenanigans, and then we'll schedule that back whenever, sometime in October. But that's next
Oh
Friday.
man, that's kind of cool. I like Mondo too.
Yeah, he's very knowledgeable when it comes to the Word of God. So that's why I usually have him on quite often. Him, JB, and Dr. Andy Woods. And then the week after, I have Dennis Rosker back on talking about eternal salvation. Like, is it real? Is it biblical? So that's going to be a good one. And when Dennis is on these PowerPoints, and it's like you feel like you're in church because he's good. I like him, so we'll learn a lot with that. But I don't know if anyone has anything else to say. If not, Vin, you've been a pleasure. I will see you again on Tuesdays. That's going to be fun.
Yeah. You know, we're
I
going to
know.
keep doing these back to backs.
Absolutely. That's
Shows,
great.
yeah.
So listen, we are good. I am not really, I'm letting the Lord lead. Like if I'm not scheduling too far out anymore, I'm kind of just marinating in what God wants me to do. And I'm just going to sit and see what where he takes me and this thing jig.
Yeah, Dale
So-
Valente.
Delve, what is that?
If it is God's will.
Okay, I didn't know what that meant. Is that Italian too? And I should know that?
It's kind of Greek, I think.
Okay, Greek. I wouldn't
Yeah.
know. I'm thinking my Italian family's gonna fire me by now. Like another term you didn't know? I'm like, I only knew one word growing up, and I'm not gonna say because it's curse word.
Yeah.
Other than that, I knew nothing else at all. Oh my gosh. Anyway, so listen, do you have any kind words you want to say to everyone tonight as we told them don't listen to this music anymore? I already lost one person early on. I guess she thought we were talking about people's salvation and we weren't. So thank you
No.
for all of those who corrected, but again, I'll go on. I probably lost another 20 people tonight. I am not here for fans at all.
We're here for Jesus.
I am here for Jesus. That's right.
Mhm.
So go ahead.
No.
Final words, brother.
You know what, everybody? Just get yourself deep into the word and just share Jesus with people and get people to Jesus.
Mhm.
John 14:6 says, I am the way and the truth and the life. And the only way to get to the Father is through me. And that's the words of Jesus. Those aren't the words of, Elevation Worship and all those other people. This is the word of God. So, just stay encouraged. I know things are, difficult right now and things are going to get darker. But you know what? We have Christ in our lives.
Amen.
We have the greatest defender. We can put on the full armor of God because he promises that he will deliver us. But he did not say that he would keep us from going through trials. And there are lots of people that I know personally that are going through trials.
Hmm.
And, I came out of a couple trials in the new year. So, you know what? The calm before the storm will happen, but God gets us ready for those storms because he knows that he's going to make us stronger on the other side. So just, keep your hope and faith in Jesus.
Amen. I didn't know if you were done, so I kind of paused there for a moment.
No, we're good. We're
Yeah.
excellent. We're excellent.
Excellente.
And
I
please
appreciate
keep
you
supporting
coming
my
here, brother.
sister. Yeah.
You are definitely I'm gonna say this without messing up, a breath of fresh air. I had to slow down I knew what I wanted to say, but my brain was like I was speaking in tongues. I had fire through my veins in that moment.
You didn't
So if
get hit
anyone
with
is
a jacket, did you?
interested, and say that one more time.
You didn't get hit with a jacket, did you?
No, Benny Hinn is sleeping, so he had no time to whip me with his white jacket. But I do have Greg Locke on speed dial, so maybe
good.
Greg will not only whip me with his new
Hey, that
fancy
guy-
attire, but also
Yeah.
cast out a demon. So
That guy's a showman.
he is. I used to go to his church.
Oh, really?
When I lived in Atlanta, I knew that whole situation when he cheated on his wife. But so I used to drive from Atlanta to Mount Juliet, Tennessee. It would take about 4 hours, and I would make the journey. And that's when he had the small church, not the tent. I wasn't with crazy. Well, he was always crazy, but I wasn't with Deliverance Greg. I was with Cheater Greg.
Oh, fornicator Greg.
But I'm not gonna lie, he's very, and I've never denied that. Even when I first started going, it was because of his presence. It was who Greg Locke was. So he's very dynamic. Like if you meet him, he'll draw you in, kind of like what they say what Donald Trump does. He's got that intoxicating kind of personality. And then, God was like, yeah, like every door from Mount Juliet, like it wasn't even like a half a millisecond. God's like, "Chow, that ain't happening. Let me go ahead and close that one too." And then he's like, "Listen, this girl ain't leaving, so I got to expose this fool real quick."
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got to put some fire in my veins.
Oh man, there's
yeah,
certain pastors. Yeah, I'll tell you off the air though.
Oh yeah, some of them are. Yeah, I mean, I don't mind. I don't want to put you on the spot, but I definitely don't mind calling them out at all. Those are my RLEs are for. But guys, you've been a pleasure. I so appreciate this. Is that my Nancy Hollywood? Just give me a thumbs up.
Is that
If
her?
that's you, I don't know. I think Nancy D. I don't know. I've got a couple of Nancys, and I know she changed her name, and I know we have a delay. So, because Nancy, if that is you, you're in the spotlight this week. Your book. If that's not you, Nancy, and it's the other Nancy, well, you're still in the spotlight because you're amazing. I don't know what else to say.
Yeah,
for that.
putting up with us for almost 2 hours. Oh, yeah. We need to promote Nancy D's book.
I know. I can't. Yeah, she said that to me, and then, it was so beautiful. So anyway, she hasn't responded, so maybe she's still not here. Or maybe she doesn't know who's talking because she's like, I don't know who this person is on the podcast.
Yeah, she's
Thank
like,
you
"Who
all
is
for
this guy?"
joining tonight. I appreciate it. This is my radio announcer's voice. Y'all have a
I was like,
great
"Is that
night.
him?"
And on that note, as I always say, wait, hold on. Let me be serious. I will see you here, there, or in the air. Bye, guys. Wrong video. I was trying to do it, and it didn't work. So now I'm gonna end it. So hold on.
Where's Sandra?
I need Sandra. It was all serious, and it didn't work. Okay, here we go. Vin, I'll see. Don't leave me, and we'll talk off air. You guys have a great night. Adios. Thank you for listening to this week's podcast. If you enjoyed the content, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Also, head on over to our website, lifeclipspodcast.com, to find out more information. If you have questions, comments, or concerns, send us an email at questions@lifeclipspodcast.com. And as I always end it, I will see you here, there, or in the air.
Titus chapter 2, verse 13, looking for the blessed hope and the